Cam a double-double. What was the reason behind your success today?
I would say my teammates finding me. You know, we struggled getting it going in the first half, and I was one of the guys that was, you know, making a lot of shots. So I would give that praise to my teammates finding me and just getting me going.
What was the difference in the second half for you guys?
You know, I just feel, you know, we took it more personally, you know, going in the half down, I believe 19, 20, something like that. You know, we just took it upon ourselves to, you know, basically come back however we could, especially being, you know, the rivalry and at home and stuff like that. So, I mean, we just took it personal more in the second half, I believe.
This is your first taste of the rivalry on the court. What did you make of it?
It was definitely what it started out to be. You know, just watching last year, just seeing everything, and especially not being from this area, I've definitely, you know, really grasped the rivalry on and off the court.
Any more questions for Cam? Thank you. I usually have Coach Alexander make an opening statement, but he's dealing with a little bit of a voice, so we'll just go right into questions for Coach Alexander.
Kari, the first half, 29 points, I don't know, that's obviously uncharacteristic of you. Was it more not shooting well, or is it more their defense, a combination of both? What would you explain the point goal at halftime?
Yeah, good question. First of all, you got to always be humble enough to credit the defense of your opponent. You know, Oakland, you know, may not necessarily be known for their defense, you know, over a period of, you know, years, but I thought a combination of good defense coupled with our inability to get ball movement and player movement led to those low-scoring opportunities. I thought we took a lot of tough twos. I thought we took some forced shots. And again, with the 9 players that played in this year's Metro Series, 4 of them was experiencing it for the first time. And so on some level, you're trying to, you know, just steady the mindsets of those kids emotionally, just to make sure that they're not out there, you know, playing my turn basketball. And that's just part of our maturation process. But, you know, all in all, that 29 points was indicative of just a lack of ball movement and some really good defensive possessions by Oakland.
And on that front, how big was Isaiah Brock for them, particularly in the first half?
Well, Isaiah is a really proven defender. You know, here's a guy that alters or blocks shots at the rim. You know, today, obviously, he ended up with 5 of them. But in addition to that, he's one of those guys that don't necessarily give you second opportunities at the basket. So when you look at him, in particular on the defensive glass, that's important. And then he makes himself available as you put a lot of your attention towards guys like Nunn, guys like Walker coming off those curl cuts and screens. There's easy opportunities for him on lob passes at the rim. So it's almost like pick your poison. He's a great finisher. At the same time, they're great scorers. So you got to just try to choose what area you're willing to give up.
Jermaine Jackson, only 5 points tonight. What do you think made it so tough for him offensively?
Well, I think in particular his mindset was not so much that of scoring more than it was of managing the game. I think he was 3 assists, 1 turnover. Again, a lot of his shots that he makes are typically from penetration, inside out kicks, driving kicks, because his step-in 3 shooting percentages are near 70%. You know, when he's doing it off the bounce against length, you know, sometimes that becomes a little bit more elusive for him in terms of makes. So I thought it was a combination of shooting over length versus taking tough shots that led to maybe the shooting percentages today.
Any more questions for Coach?
Just conversely, from what went right in the second half, I think 54, 55 points. You just get comfortable, or is there any more to the output?
Well, there was, you know, spirited discussion at halftime along the lines of playing with passion, playing with pride. We played better defensively. We limited them to 1 shot on the goal more oftentimes than not, you know, compared to the first half. But more importantly, we were able to get out and do some things that we wasn't allowed to do in the first half due to shot selection. That's get out and transition. I mean, we're number 1 in the Horizon League in terms of primary offense, being able to get clean rebounds and get out and score. But when we were able to do that in the second half, obviously we end up having a 15-point advantage. And so the tale of 2 halves on some level in my mind as a coach, is married to effort and focus, knowing that maybe close to half of these guys, 4 to 9 that played, and really you would say probably 4 to 8 that played because Gerald Blackshear, wasn't feeling, as well, is due to the newness of the rivalry, but also the mindset that you got to have to manage in a game like that.
What did Jalil's absence mean in a game like this?
Oh, Jalil's absence mean everything in every game. Because, again, what you cannot supplement is experience. And so he brings that experience to the table and that toughness to the table and another big body to go at guys like Jalen Hayes, things like that. So, not having Jalil available is definitely a huge, hole, in our offensive scheme.
Are you hopeful to get him back?
Well, I am hopeful, right now, again, it's hard to, project, when that'll be. But he's working diligently towards that issue.
Last question for Coach.
We'll let you go.
Yeah, thank you.